When you receive your tie-down system, the first thing to do is identify which is the front of the track. The track pieces are labeled with a decal on the back side that indicates front. That is the front of your track, as well as the front of the pickup bed. Next step in the process is to hold the track in place all the way to the front of the bed to make certain that the track system fits the bed and that you don't have any interference areas. Be careful to check the back side of each pre-drilled hole location to ensure that you've got access to the back side of it to place the nut and washer and tighten everything down. You'll notice that the very back of the bed, due to a new stake pocket design, the track runs a little bit short because we don't have room on certain models, this being a new Dodge, to extend the track all the way to the very rear of the bed. Next, I'm going to clamp the track in place. Stop that. Next step is to clamp the track in place on the bedside. Utilizing just a simple vice grip clamp, a C-clamp also suffices. Clamp it in place where it will be located, and just double check to make sure that all of the interference areas are clear, and set the track to the proper height relative to the bed, which pretty much the top edge of the track should be flush with the top of the bed. That will enable you to mount a canopy shell, most tonneau covers, and not have it sticking up above the bed rail. Now that I have that in place, we will check to make sure that the track is flush with the top of the bed. Looks like I need to raise this just a little. Okay, that looks good. Again, just double check to make sure that there aren't any problem areas on the back side of any of your locations. We're now going to center punch each hole. Just makes it a little easier when you're using a hardware store spring-loaded center punch to do this. Then drill a series of pilot holes at an 1/8 inch diameter, and then go back and open those up to a full 1/4 inch, which will allow it to use the fastener that we provided with the kit. Might as well start at the back here. Just going to center punch that location. I'm opening it up to an 1/8 inch pilot hole. We're just going to repeat this process down the length of the bed and open it up to 1/4 inch. System comes pre-drilled and countersunk. If it's your first time installing this system, it shouldn't take you more than about an hour to have it complete. We're now going to open up the pilot holes that we previously drilled at 1/8 inch diameter to a full 1/4 inch, which matches the diameter of the machine screws provided in the system. Again, using the holes that are already in the track, we will open up this diameter. Done throughout the length of the bed. We'll then start to place our fasteners. Next step is to begin to place the fasteners. at the holes that we've drilled. There is a all stainless steel hardware, of course, self-locking nut and 1/4-inch washer that go on the back side. We supply nylock nuts. We do have a nylon insert in there. Word of caution is to not tighten them really fast. It's best to do just what I'm doing here and tighten them by hand. If you use a cordless drill with a screw tip, it can have a tendency to heat up the nylon insert and actually gall the threads as you're installing them. Not a good scene. So we just take the extra few minutes and tighten them by hand to assure you don't have that trouble. So we'll just repeat this process down the length of the bed until we have all the fasteners in place and tighten them. Another side benefit of this truck system is that it really adds a nice rub rail to the pickup bed. You know, today's trucks continue to be thinner and thinner metal, and this can actually serve as a sacrificial rub rail for an item that you may have up against the side of your bed, even if it's not actually tied down to the track. In today's trucks, you know, we're working on a truck here that's priced in the mid $40,000 range, and yet it only comes with 4 D-ring locations to tie anything to. With this system, you've got an adjustable ring that we'll show you in a few moments that allows you to move it on 1-inch increments throughout the length of the bed, giving you over 90 positions per rail in a long bed truck. The greatest part about this system is the fact that you've got the locations on 1-inch increments throughout the length of the bed. This VT1000 ring is the ring that we supply with the system. You get 4 of these with each truck system, whether it be a short bed or a long bed. Additional rings certainly are available. The ring simply moves on 1-inch increments. Pull back on the retainer here, the aluminum portion, and slide it either direction, only a 1/2 inch to remove it. Benefit of that, of course, is it's not captive in the rail. You do not have to slide it to the end of the rail to remove it. That's particularly handy if you've got an item in the bed that's up against the side rail. You don't have to move that item to remove the ring. Simply slide it a 1/2 inch, pop it out of the track. That way you can keep them removed when they're not in use, keep them in the glove box or their handy tool bag or something, and simply snap them in when they're ready to use. In a few minutes we'll show you how this ring also fits with the base plate that we're going to install on the floor of the truck. Unlike an eye bolt, this ring swivels and it also folds. So rather than